It sure seems like we got a lot coming up. It's Romeo. We're going to talk about a guy who wore AirPods on a first date. We're going to talk a little bit with Michael Bean about relationships. Of course, real estate. We got to talk about what's going on with the real estate in Bakersfield and getting in the mood. What sets the mood in your relationship? Let's go.
Let's talk about fighting with your siblings, your brothers and sisters. Now, fortunately for me and my brother and sister get along excellent because we actually never lived in the same house together. Well, that's not totally true. There's a big age gap between me and my brothers and sisters. So me and my sister only lived together for a couple of years when she was a baby. In fact, my sister, actually, the first time I was babysitting my sister, the first time she walked, I was home alone. Her and I, not babysitting, but you know how brothers and sisters stay. I was the older brother, and she actually learned to walk while we were watching her. It was kind of cool. But we never lived together during those times when brothers and sisters fight or siblings fight, right? So it was kind of great. It worked out great for us. We get along good today, and we still don't have any problems to this day. But there's a lot of you out there. You fought with your brothers and sisters. You either, a couple of years apart, and you guys went through the same things together. I remember a friend of mine, she used to tell me about, I think she had 3 or 4 sisters. Can't remember exactly. But they were all, within a couple of years apart of each other, and they used to fight over the phone. Back in the day when the phone was just one phone on the wall, not everybody had a cell phone. They would fight over the phone because, one boy would be calling for one sister and she would be waiting for her boyfriend to call or whatever the case may be. And the phone was always tied up. So they would fight over the phone. I think nowadays, I don't think they fight much today as adults at all, but back in the day, right? You used to fight with your siblings. RD425477. Some of that carries over, by the way. Some of those fights when you were as a kid with your brother and sister, they carry over to adulthood. You're still fighting with them over something stupid. RD425477. What did you and your siblings fight over when you were younger? And maybe you still fight with your siblings today as an adult. Me and my siblings, we get along great. But then again, we only lived with each other for a couple of years at a young age. They were at a young age. I moved out, I think, when my sister was 2. Never lived with my brother ever. So, there's that probably changes the dynamic of our relationship. We never had to be teenagers in the same house or, we never had to share anything. We never had to fight over something. We just never did. A lot of you guys did. Like I said, a friend of mine, her and her sisters used to fight over the phone. Not everybody had a cell phone back in their day because they didn't exist. That's why. RD425477. So what'd you guys fight over? Good morning, Al. What's going on? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I want to talk to you about the way me and my sister fight.
Oh, what happened? Do you fight today or did you fight when you were younger?
We fight till this day.
Okay.
And I'm 30 and she's 27, okay? When we were little, my mom would never, ever, ever make her clean. And I always had to be the one to clean. I always had to be the one that when we shared a room, I had to clean my side and her side of the room. I had to clean the restroom, the kitchen, the living room. You name it, I had to do it. Well, she just didn't do anything. And now she don't know how to clean and she don't know how to cook. But we still fight about the same thing, just the way my mom has always kind of favored her or just let her she doesn't know how. She doesn't know how. And I'm like, because you never taught her how. You never made her do anything. And even now, it's never about boys. We never fight about things like that, but it'll just be about gossip. She'll gossip to my family about me. And when I try to tell her or call her out on it, it's there's always an excuse why she does it. And it's just, our fights have never gotten better.
That's awesome. Well, good luck with that. All right. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Some of you guys fight with your brothers and sisters as adults. A lot of you guys fought with your brothers and sisters as teenagers living under the same roof because, hey, sometimes you just can't get along, right? Already 425477. Rome. My brother and I used to fight. Once he chased me and my cousin with scissors, and we were in high school. My brother didn't want to go to school, and we were fooling around on the floor punching each other. We get along great now. But that's what I'm saying, yeah. But what did you fight over? Just because you were brothers and you didn't like it? At that time you didn't get along? So it happens, man. Too many kids under the same roof. They like to, they always say family comes first. But man, when you're a teenager, and you got a brother and sister, or you got a brother and sister that want the same things as you, and one doesn't get it, man, it causes arguments, it causes fights, and then some of that rolls over into adulthood, right? All right, 842-547-7. What did or do you and your siblings fight about? It's out at 4.1. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ron?
What up, Ruben?
Hey, that girl that just called you. Hey, so she already knows when her parents die who's getting everything, right? And she knows ahead of time, you know what I mean? And if she don't know, now she knows.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's the only obvious. When her parents die, she ain't getting nothing, and that sister ain't gonna give her nothing either.
I know she's gonna get hosed in that deal, but oh well. I mean, it is what it is.
But she might have time if it's really worth it. What they're gonna leave behind, she better start kissing her sister's butt.
All right. What do you and your siblings fight about? Whether when you were growing up, or maybe you still do it today as adults? I would think though, as adults, you shouldn't be fighting with your brothers and sisters anymore. I mean, I can understand being teenagers. I can understand, growing up in the same roof, being juvenile and childish, but not as an adult. All right, 842-547-7. Oh, yeah, Rome. We fought like cats and dogs. Very serious fights with my big sister. And when I came home and she saw I was wearing her bell-bottom pants with the gray buttons on the leg side, I think she was jealous that I looked better and cuter in them than she did. That's what I'm saying. Did she whoop your ass or what? Probably what you get for wearing her clothes. Hey, Rome, the reason my brother came at us with the scissors was we were picking on him. See what I'm saying, man? Already 42547-7. What'd you guys fight over as siblings? Hey, Romeo, me and my younger twin sister fight now over who's buying the drinks if we go out or if we're drinking at the house. Because if not, I get stuck buying it all the time because I'm the oldest. You're twins. You can only be older than her by what? A couple of minutes? Although that's pretty funny. Already 42547-7. What are you? You're fighting with your siblings, right? What do you guys fight about? This is a good one. Hey, Rome, let me get your opinion on this one. Back in high school, I was a freshman. My sister was a sophomore, and she stole my boyfriend. I haven't talked to her in 20 years since we both moved out of our parents' house. She's actually married to the guy to this day. I'm holding a grudge, and we fought about it ever since. Do you think I'm wrong? I do think you're wrong. It was high school. Man, if you're going to fight with your sister over a boy from high school, I think that's pretty stupid. Yeah, I think it's wrong. Now, your sister's not right, but if she's willing to apologize, and I don't know if she is or if she isn't, but if she's willing to apologize to you for it, and she should who broke up with who? I'm assuming, how did your sister take him? How did she steal him from you? I don't know. I mean, so there might be some questions in how that all went down, situation went down. But the bottom line is pretty simple. You're wrong. You and your sister, well, you're both wrong, but you shouldn't be fighting over something as stupid as a boy in high school. So yeah, you're wrong for holding a grudge. She's wrong for not apologizing. That's pretty much how it should lay out. So, but to not talk to your sister for 20 years over that, I mean, that's kind of sad. You need to get over it. You really do. 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo. I went out on a date the other night with this guy. Throughout the whole date, he had his AirPods in. I thought that was a little disrespectful. What do you think? So you're out on a date with a guy who has his AirPods in. My question, I guess, would be, was he listening to something? Or did he I don't know. I don't wear AirPods. I don't even own AirPods, so I don't know. I see everybody with them. I don't know if they keep them on just so they can take a phone call or if they keep them in because they're always listening. I got to imagine these kids are wearing them because they're listening to music all the time. But it's funny that you say that because I went into a store the other day and at the counter, the girl was wearing AirPods. And I was trying to talk to her, and it seemed like she was distracted. So maybe she was listening to something else, or I don't know. Yeah, I would say that's disrespectful. Depending on, not even depending on. If you're going to go on a date with somebody, you would think that they would pay attention to the person they're on the date with as opposed to being distracted with whatever the AirPods are connected to, even if nothing is coming out of them. Yeah, I would say that's a red flag and very disrespectful. I mean, yeah, especially if I'm guessing it was a first date. So yeah, I would say that's very disrespectful. I wouldn't go out with that guy again. No, I wouldn't. Already 42547-7. All right, so I got this text message from a lady. She says, "Hey, Rome, I went out on a date the other night, and the guy, he had his AirPods in throughout the date. Do you think that's disrespectful?" What do you think? I think it is. I think why? I just like the phones. I think it's disrespectful when you guys go out on dates and you put your phones on the tabletop so that you can monitor them the whole time. I think you guys are just, what is wrong with you? If you want to have a relationship with your phone, have a relationship with your phone. What do you expect these men and women to put up with that? I mean, same goes for you guys. You go out on dates with women who are always on social media or checking their phones throughout the night or taking photos. And I mean, if you're not into that and that's not your lifestyle, then why are you even dating these people? 3425477. Yo, Rome, that guy's got to pull all his money out at late. Oh, you're talking about something else. Oh, that was a different conversation. Sorry. They were talking about the wedding. All right, 8425477. Hey, Romeo, I don't know what's wrong with these kids today. If you go out on a date with somebody, your attention should be focused on the person you're on the date with, and that's it. Why are they letting all these other things distract them? Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. But let's be honest about it. I mean, if you're going out on a date with somebody who, well, I mean, they're both distracted. How many times you've been somewhere and you see people just sitting on their phones, not even talking to each other? They're out to dinner, they're at restaurants, they're at, different places, sitting there, not even having conversation with each other. They're both on their phones. So I guess that's the new. I mean, but if you're not into that, then I don't even like my friends being on their phones when they come visit me at my house. I'll just stop talking to them and walk away, and they could sit there on their phones. But, I'm a little bit old school. If we're going to hang out, then let's hang out. If you want to hang out with your phone, you don't need to hang out with me. So I don't understand why he kept his AirPods in, though. I mean, what was the purpose? Was it just habit? Was he listening to music and talking to you at the same? I don't understand that. So without knowing that, I guess I can't say it's completely disrespectful, but it's completely disrespectful. I wouldn't go out with that guy again if I were you. Already 4254777. I got this text message a little bit ago. It says, "Hey, Rome, I went out on a date the other night and this guy had his AirPods in throughout the whole date. Was that disrespectful? What do you think?" I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty disrespectful. I don't understand. I don't get it, to be honest with you. I mean, was he not paying attention to you? Was you not enough? What was he doing with his AirPods in? That's the big question. Already 4254777. But if I were you, I wouldn't go out with him again. I mean, why would you go out with somebody that doesn't want to? That's more focused on something else other than you, especially if it's a date. Already 4254777. Hey, UF and Chiefs fan, that guy with the AirPods, maybe he was a guy. Maybe there was a guy coaching him on dating, and the coach was listening in. It's not a sitcom, man. Come on. All right, so I got this text message from a lady. She says, "Hey, Rome, I went out on a date the other night with this guy. Throughout the date, he wore his AirPods. Was that disrespectful? What do you think?" Yeah, I think that's weird. And I think it's pretty, yeah. Why is he not? Obviously his attention was somewhere else. I don't know what that somewhere else was. Maybe it was just habit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know. Already 4254777. I'd like to know why he did it, but I would say I don't think there's really a good reason for him to do it or a justifiable reason, right? Already 4254777. Hey, Rome, the guy with the AirPods had his buddy online getting coached through the date. You're the second person that said that. No. Come on now. You guys actually can't believe that, right? You're just joking with me. There's no way that that's legitimately going on. No way. RD4254-7-7. I don't think there's a justifiable reason to be on a date and wear your AirPods. I can't think of one. I just can't think of any reason why. How did the conversation go? Did he seem sidetracked? I mean, did he seem like he was, I don't know. I need a little more information. RD4254-7-7. I don't think he was actually using the AirPods. I think it's more of an aesthetic for everyone to show off they got AirPods, which is completely dumbfounded. But but to each their own. Nice. Good morning, Hop. What's going on?
Yo, what up, Rome?
What up, man?
Hey, so you ever remember the show The Jetsons?
The what? The Jetsons?
The Jetsons?
Oh, yeah.
The robots used to run around with the damn ears and everything. That's what people look like when they wear AirPods. You know? Like, are you that stupid? And then how everybody is saying he's probably getting coached. I'd put money on that too, Rome, because a lot of dudes nowadays, they don't even know how to hold a conversation with a female.
But just seems so unreasonable that would be going on.
Look, Rome, I know you're older than me. I used to listen to you when I was in school.
Yeah.
But look, I'm telling you right now, Rome, I've seen it. Like, everybody's a pimp over the phone and a text message, but when you see a beautiful girl in person, they all freeze up.
Yeah.
Man. So I wouldn't doubt it.
I believe you in that aspect of it, that these dudes don't know how to talk to somebody, but my God, how it's just that's yeah. All right, that's just ridiculous. All right,
I'm telling you, Rome, it's a thing nowadays, man. These dudes, man.
Well, here would be my question then. If he was being coached, who would be coaching him that was capable to talk to a good-looking woman? Like, if he's that stupid that he can't talk to a good-looking woman, who would be in his friend group, or who would he actually know that could help him? He's got to have.
If he's a younger guy, then his friends are probably stupid too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So who's coaching him? Who's the one coaching him? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and all my friends, everybody's trying to get some. So everybody's competing when we were younger. Nowadays, they're all just dumbasses, don't know how to talk to women. So who would coach him?
That's my point. The dumbass I was on the phone with him was a dumbass. I was like, hey, bro, you should wear your AirPods and let me listen to your conversation, and I'll go ahead and coach you through it. Yeah, man, that sounds like a good idea. And then you got someone like me or like my boys that'll roll up and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? You look bored as hell. Come over here and have some fun on this ride. Like, Jetsons, bro. Everybody's a robot nowadays. These dudes, man, they're
all right, man. Thanks for calling later. It's funny to think about, by the way. Back in the day, me and my group of friends, it was like a competition. It was every man for himself when it was hitting on women. It makes me wonder, what do these dudes do today? Groups of friends, do they hit on women, or do they all just go to Bumble and all look at the different women? I don't understand it. RD4254-7-7. Yeah. I have no idea why the dumbass had AirPods in, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever go on a date with a guy and he is distracted by something else, yeah, he's not the guy to date. Hey, Rome, maybe it's just a friend he's trying to do. All these youngsters are trying to start their own trends, or maybe it's a trend, not a friend, a trend. These youngsters are trying to start their own trends, like keeping a sticker on their brand new hat, which just looks totally stupid. Wow, damn. Is that trend? By the way, is that the sticker on the hat? I saw that the other day. The other day I was somewhere and I saw a kid with a sticker on the hat. That is, man, they were doing that in the 90s. So now these kids are recycling the 90s trends? I mean, I see. You remember back in the 90s, you knew the DJs. You knew who the DJs were because they wore headphones. Now all these kids wear headphones. And I don't know if they're wearing them because social anxiety or because they're actually listening to stuff or what. Remember, we all used to wear headphones back in the day because we were actually listening to music. Now it seems like they wear them as a fashion statement. And they got the big ones. Back in my day, the only one that wore, all my friends that wore the big headphones out in public, they were all DJs. They were all mixers. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe the AirPods is a trend. I don't know. I don't really know. RD4254-7-7. But The sticker, if you wear a sticker on your hat because you just bought it, that is not a new trend. They were doing that in the 90s. You did not create that. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
What's up, Ron?
What up, man?
I think there could have been multiple reasons why this guy had headphones in.
Why is that?
So maybe reason one was maybe I know some people, you know what I mean. Sometimes when they're in like a really loud place, you know, headphones it helps sit through. Maybe the dude was autistic, or maybe the girl was boring. Maybe business wise he kept one in. You know what I mean? I don't think, as long as he was like giving her the time of day and at least, talking to her and having a good date, you know what I mean?
No, you couldn't be more wrong.
For real?
More wrong.
If he's paying attention to her with the headphones on,
First of all, I know all of you guys think you can multitask. You can't. Okay? I know there's every single one of you out there thinks, you know what, I could text to have stay in the car. No, you can't. Your focus is somewhere else every time.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
You're absolutely wrong to think whatever he's doing with headphones on is still paying attention to his date. That's 100% wrong. There's no way anybody can do both.
Or maybe the girl was boring.
Well, how would he know? He's on his headphones.
I mean, I don't know.
If you're multitasking, you're doing everything you're doing half-assing it. Okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I'm just trying to look at all the possibilities.
If I was sitting on my phone right now, talking to you and texting, I'm doing both of them half-ass.
Well, I mean, I feel like right now you're multitasking. You're set up the radio and talking on the phone. So
wait,
I
what?
guess you can multitask.
Say that again.
I said you are on the radio and you answer phone calls. So I mean, you are multitasking.
All right, later. Well, that's because I'm the only person in town that's capable of doing that. And it is Thursday. That means Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
All right. 842. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's my phone number. 661-327-5100. Or you go Psychology Today is where you find Michael. All right, Michael. So what's going on? Everything good?
Yeah. Unfortunately, people still keep getting in trouble in their relationships.
People still keep screwing them up?
Putting their foot right in it. Yeah. I haven't been able to solve that problem yet. Me or my colleagues, we just are still trying to do this one couple at a time. Fortunately, for those couples that see us, we can see a lot of good things happen. But, man, it just seems like the progress of human relationships has not improved very much.
I think AI will fix it all. So we'll be out of jobs here soon. AI will just solve everybody's problem. Either that or kill everybody. I don't know which one's going to happen.
Depends on what you mean by fix it. Yeah, it'll fix it all right. It'll fix it good.
I want to talk about getting married, Michael, real quick. People are still getting married, right?
I mean, they are. Not at the rate they used to, but yeah, people still get married.
What do you mean by not at the rate they used to?
Well, kind of marriage is not seen as much of a requirement by so many people for having a family, living together, making a commitment to each other. Relationships have, just kind of become, I think we've embraced the idea that people are in relationships by choice. And so, okay, we go through the ceremony and let people know we're committing to each other. But I think they're kind of seeing that a lot of relationships, they don't last.
Let me ask you this, Michael, and I don't want to get too much into it, but there is a study going around that less people are religious nowadays. Younger generations are not headed towards religion as much. Does that have much to do with the idea of being married? Do you think that plays any type of part in it?
I mean, marriage has, traditionally in our country at least, been seen as something that you do in and with the church. The whole idea of, chastity. We're going to wait till we get married in order to have sex. And I think a lot of these ideas are really seen as very old-fashioned.
Sure.
By coming generations, and so marriage has kind of fallen suit.
So let me ask you this question. I've always said this, Michael. I've always said the ultimate commitment that you can make to that other person where you're just all in is marriage. You can't be all in without marrying them, because part of being all in, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, part of being all in is losing half of your stuff if it doesn't work out. You can't be in, but I know you're laughing, but you can't be any more committed than that to the point where you could actually lose something other than her or him or whoever your partner is, right? So,
well, yeah.
What does that say about relationships then? Nothing? Does that mean nothing? It's just people are just pretending they're all in and everything's, is that why they're not working out as much?
I don't know if they're pretending anything, but I think they might be just acknowledging the temporary nature of a lot of relationships. There really is something to be said for people figuring out how are we going to share our lives together, kind of grow together, support each other, make a commitment, especially when kids are involved. Kids really do better when they have a stable home to grow up in. They just do. Just very, very clear from the statistics that kids do tons better when their parents stay together. So I still think marriage has something to really offer, particularly families.
I want you to hold on to that
for everybody, but I think,
Hold on to that thought about the kids. I got a question about the kids being the glue that keeps a relationship together if marriage isn't the glue that keeps a couple together. Michael Bean is here, Marriage and Family Center. That's 661-327-5100. Michael Bean is here. He is here to talk about relationships, the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Okay, so I was going to ask you a question before we went to the song, but I'm going to ask you a different question because I've been thinking about this fact that the ultimate goal seemed to be marriage, right? We go date, we find somebody we want to spend the rest of our lives with, and we get married, okay? And then it seems like there is a societal change about marriage. It's not as important. We can still have a relationship without the marriage part of it, and it be just as meaningful?
Yeah. I mean, life can be just as meaningful. Maybe the relationship isn't, but maybe I don't put as much stock in that relationship. Maybe my own educational progress or my own happiness or peace of mind or benefiting the world somehow. Maybe something else is more important to me.
Well, that used to be but when people thought like that, Michael, back in the day, those were kind of the outcasts as it pertained to relationships, dating, and marriage. Okay? Now we're seeing more and more folks are the traditional idea of marriage seems to be, I don't want to say that's now become the outcast of what's going on, but it seems to be like it's getting closer and closer to 50-50 of people that want to be married versus people that don't want to be married. Or it's just not that big of a deal. I shouldn't say don't want to be. I should just say it's not that big of a thing for them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Very true, and it is. Our whole society is changing. It is changing so fast. It's really hard to keep track of that. But when people are in a relationship, they really want to be happy. They really want there to be peace in that relationship. We started this whole thing kind of talking about, well, what about kids? And, do they matter at some point or whatever? And yeah, they absolutely do. They absolutely do, especially if people grew up in a home where, there was chaos. They don't want that for their kids.
Sure.
Very often, I'll get the couples coming in and saying, hey, we just don't want to do this to our kids. We've got to take a look and do something better. Sometimes it's the partner whose parents did divorce who's more open to the idea of divorce. Just because, I survived it, I got through it and did okay, and And then but other times it's the exact opposite. It's just like, no, my parents went through that. I never want my kids to have to go through that. So we all just kind of react to things in different ways. But yes, this whole idea of, if we're not happy, we don't need to be together anymore. And just like, okay, relationships are temporary. It really is changing things.
So does that mean, well, see, so that for your business, Michael, that's not good if people are going, well, instead of let's trying to fix something that may be able to be fixed, we're just going to go on and say, well, relationships aren't that meaningful anymore. But you're saying when you're in them, you still feel meaning in that relationship, right? You're not saying that people's feelings, I mean, we're still human beings, right? We still want to be with somebody, right? We don't want to be, look at that little monkey that was whatever they've been talking about who didn't have no mom or something. Nobody would hug the little guy. And we're still like that, aren't we?
We are. We thrive best in stable relationships. We look for that. We commit to people. Our hearts still break when things don't work out. Nobody tolerates misery very well. And it kind of turns out that taking that like artificial, you can't get out of this relationship away, I think really did a lot of good for people who are stuck in really, really bad situations. There are power imbalances. There are just we humans we start to take advantage of a situation where somebody will let us push a little bit, break boundaries. Or if somebody's not a good boundary setter, there's going to be someone else partnered with them that's a boundary breaker. And that can be just a really toxic situation that people used to be stuck in pretty permanently. I think it's better for people to not be permanently stuck in these relationships, but it's different and there are consequences.
All right, Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
I feel kind of weird having this conversation with you, Michael, because is society changing in a way that a guy like you who's here to help relationships and help people be happy again in their relationship for long term, but long term is not happening as much anymore in society?
It's not. Long term is happening less and less. Also, people are just kind of seeing that maybe stability is not the most important thing in the world. Maybe I can be have less stability in my life, a little more uncertainty, and figure out in the midst of that chaos how to actually have more peace because I don't feel stuck.
What do you think about this idea, Michael, that because we are living longer as human beings, that causes a problem for our relationships?
Yeah, the more healthy years we have, the more potentially years we have together. And all of those issues that go with a long-term relationship, we were kind of talking about, off the air for a minute.
Yeah.
The idea that sometimes complacency creeps in or boredom creeps in or this just a little subtle antagonism kind of is there that wasn't there before. None of those are misery, but they can leave us feeling empty. And people don't do boredom very well for a long time. It just starts to really grate, and we've got to make something happen in our lives if things are really boring. And the temptation is to think, well, my partner won't be up for bringing some excitement into our lives. So, I have to look somewhere else.
Well, I know this is going to sound kind of morbid, but people still don't want to die alone, right? I mean, if you don't have, the old thing was, well, you and your, what was the old Notebook or whatever? She dies and I die 10 minutes later, and it's, that's so romantic. People romanticize that. But if we're under this idea that if it's not working out, then let's just go, that could leave a lot of people alone, right? Or is there just, since everybody's doing that, there's always somebody looking for the next, so you'll be just fine?
I don't know. I'd like to. The part of me that just really wants to help people do better, wants to think you'll be fine. Because from that you'll be fine position, you can more optimistically / objectively look around and kind of see what opportunities are out there. When I don't feel like I'm going to be fine, I tend to hole up. I tend to kind of be, gosh, I don't want to make any waves. I don't want to step out. I better just stick with what I know that I can kind of maintain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do. I like to think that people are going to figure it out. One way or the other.
But when you, I think I asked you this earlier, when you give somebody enough rope, they might hang themselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm giving you the opportunity to not be stuck in a relationship that you're not happy with. Now, to what degree of happiness, I think we can all decide, okay, if you're at a 10, you got to go. But if you're at a 2, maybe we should reevaluate. Maybe we should, instead of going, let's get out, I'm out. So it's kind of a catch-22 thing, Michael, where you're going, okay, now I have these options, but instead of trying to stay here and maybe fix something that could be great, well, I'll just take I'll just opt out.
Yeah, and the worst part is, just certain states of mind kind of lie to you. Depression tells you that things will never get better, and that's a lie. But one of the states that lies to you is when you get defensive in a relationship. That defensiveness gives you this sense of hopelessness.
Yep.
The number one feeling most described by people who encounter defensiveness in an argument is hopeless. They just feel like there's no possible way this person will ever understand me. I don't have a way to go here. I can't be listened to. I can't be heard.
Sure.
And that's not true. People can learn to be listened to be heard in a relationship where defensiveness is coming in. But if you're convinced of that, you're right. You're going to just give up on the relationship if you just feel like it's temporary, and then you'll never have the opportunity to work through those really hard things.
Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100, or go to Psychology Today to find him. Michael, I feel like I just feel drained after all of this, and we've been talking for a few minutes. I just feel like no hope.
The whirlwind of change that our society is right now, dating by app and polyamory starting to become the norm, and it's just like, where are we? What planet is this?
Well, assuming, but that's when I say that's assuming that if you believe monogamy and marriage is what you're supposed to do, you're going to think about, oh my God, society's going all crazy and going to hell. But if you don't believe that, then you don't have a problem with the way everything's going, right? I mean, I guess it's kind of perspective.
Sure do. I don't think people are going to hell. I just think that we're taking a look at what's going on and saying, what do we do? How do our institutions support these changes that are going on? We don't know. We don't know what things are supposed to look like, or how we can, kind of get behind the different types of families that are starting to emerge, and how do we kind of embrace this? How does our society, how does insurance work? How does, it gets really complicated.
Who decided in the first place that that's what we're supposed to do? Find one person to spend the rest of our life with, have a family, and live happily ever after. Who decided that was the right way, and that's the way we're supposed to do it? So is there really a wrong way? I mean, as long as everybody's an adult and agrees on what their relationship is there a wrong way?
Well, it's very short-sighted to say, one size should fit everybody, because people are all so different.
Yeah.
I hate to think that there's some cookie-cutter solution for people, because what if you don't happen to fit that shape? Then you're the one that everybody looks at and points at, and that can't get the car loan or the home loan or the job, because you're just different. Now, I just don't want to live in that world either. Mm-hmm. So my brain wants stability, like every human brain does, but my brain also wants compassion and, equality. I want fairness to happen. So how do you have both? I really don't know.
Oh, we got to talk a little bit about the housing market right now. We got Janet Ramirez here. She is from Selling Bakersfield, and she's going to tell us what's going on in our community with the houses. Good morning, Janet.
Good morning. How are you everybody doing today?
Everybody is, well, I'm great.
How are
I don't
you?
know how everybody else is, but I'm great.
I hope everybody's doing great.
All right, so we're also going to bring Brian Colbrook in. He is our lender from, hold on, let me get, where are you from, Brian, again? Cornerstone.
That is correct.
Cornerstone. So Brian's here with us. We're going to talk about the lending. Janet's from Selling Bakersfield. The two kind of work together hand in hand to make sure that you can get your house. There could be a lot of complications if your lender and your real estate agent do not get along, and we'll explain that a little bit later on.
Absolutely.
So
we
let's
have to have a good team together.
Let's just start from the very beginning. I want to buy a house, Janet. Are there houses available in Bakersfield?
Absolutely. We do have a great inventory out there right now. Whether you're looking north, east, west, there's property everywhere.
And now, how much do these houses cost us?
Right now, the medium price range is around $395 to $410. It just depends on where.
Wait, what did you say? $395?
The medium price range for a medium home, I want to say like southwest, northeast, $395 to $410. Absolutely. If you're going out to Rosedale and farther out, of course, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. But the medium price range, $395 to $410.
Brian, that's a lot. When I first met you, they were like $100.
Well, that's actually come down. Yeah, I mean, it was like 150 now. 150, don't exaggerate.
So how hard is it now, if we're looking at, how hard is it to get money, Brian? If we want to buy, $395 seems like a lot of money for a house compared to Bakersfield prices in the last 10 years.
Well, and 395 is down. The actual average, not median, little difference there, sold price capped out last June. That was at I think it was $432,000. So
really?
We're down. And to answer your question, the financing's pretty easy. I mean, it's hard to call any financing easy, so I should say easier. Conventional loans even remove their credit score requirement.
Isn't that what?
I mean, like I can have somebody with a 540, and if they got a big enough down payment, I may be able to do their loan.
Isn't that what got us in problems in 2008, 2007?
Yeah, but they've learned a lot of lessons. Like for example, back in like 2005. You could do a stated income loan. Somebody works at McDonald's. You say, "Oh, how much do you make?" They said $20,000 a month. Said, "Okay, no problem." Now we have bank statement loans.
Gotcha.
Let's see the money actually going into your account.
Janet, so when we're out looking for a house, we're going, hey, we want to buy a house. We're trying to figure out how to get it done. And now I know you're from Selling Bakersfield.
Correct.
And Brian, you guys have all worked together for a lot of years, so I know you guys. Where do you start? Do you start do I find you first and you find Brian? Do I find Brian first, then I find you?
Definitely. Either or. When I get a new buyer, I go ahead and leave them over to the lender. That's the best point of contact is going to be the lender, because once we speak to the lender, we're able to know what price point we're going to look for, what your interest rate is going to look like, and the most important question for every buyer is, what is my payment?
Yes.
So at that point, it'd be best that I get you over to Brian. He can run all those numbers for you. Once he tells me what you qualify for, then we start the search. But the best point of contact can either be me or him. We work as a team, and we'll get you where you need to be.
Now, I do want to talk about this real quick with the both of you, is because if you and Janet and Brian don't get along, things could get lost in a shuffle. Somebody else could be trying to buy that house, and because you two are bickering or because you two have a problem or egos or whatever, somebody else could get that house because it falls through because certain things don't get met, certain requirements aren't there, right? Or you don't get paperwork over fast enough, or he doesn't get paperwork over fast enough.
We're always encouraged to work together as a team, and we always encourage the buyers like, hey, this must be done ASAP, especially if a property already has 10 offers. We definitely want to do it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
That's never an issue with our lenders. We're going to team up with somebody that's amazing, and nothing personal. As long as this lender is doing what's amazing for the buyer, then we all work together, and nothing personal.
All right, you guys, hold on a second. We're going to talk a little little bit more about the housing market, about how to get funded, where the houses are, how much they cost, what it's going to cost you. So we're talking about the housing market in Bakersfield. We got Janet Ramirez here from Selling Bakersfield. That's 444-0178. If you have any questions about selling your house or buying a house, she can absolutely help you out. Brian Colebrook is here from Cornerstone Mortgage. We'll get to him in just 1 second. Janet, I want to ask you about buying houses. Now, it's exciting to buy a house. Your own home. I mean, it's just sometimes you walk into a lot of these Bakersfield homes and they're kind of dated.
Yeah.
Especially even a lot of the real nice ones are dated. So you spend all your hard-earned money to get into this house. And I'm not saying you can't afford it, but then on top of that, you got to go put another X amount of thousands of dollars in to remodel. I mean, what are people buying now? Can we just buy turnkey homes where you walk in?
There's a little bit of everything out there. And of course, buyers are looking for a little bit of everything. Everybody has different needs. With remodeling, or if you want to do some upgrades like changing the carpet, or let's say that you walk into a home and there's just pink interior everywhere, we can always ask the seller for a credit to paint, a credit for carpet. So there is such thing as asking for credits for those particular things. And sometimes the seller already knows those credits are coming. Maybe they didn't want to paint when they listed it on the market, and they're open to giving a credit to doing some type of remodeling when it comes to carpeting, when it comes to flooring, when it comes to painting the walls or the exterior.
When I was my understanding, I could totally be wrong, was people walk in and look at a house and they see what they can do to it, as opposed to seeing what's already done to it. Is that real, or is that just I'm crazy?
Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. I have buyers that I'm currently helping right now, and they want everything done. So new construction, what was best for them, because they didn't want to do anything. It just depends on what the buyer is looking for. But you do have some buyers that are super handy and want to do everything themselves. Yeah. So I do have a couple of those as well. The uglier, the better.
Is uglier mean cheaper?
Sometimes it just depends. Yeah, we can't compare a home that's not done up to a home that's move-in ready. So at times it can be. It just depends.
Brian, from a financial standpoint, do you just look at square footage, or do you look at whether the home needs remodeling or not when you're approving a loan?
That's really an appraiser.
Okay.
I look at them a lot, and the appraiser's going to look at comparable homes. So if you got a home that hasn't been remodeled, and he's looking at a home that has been remodeled, he's going to go ahead and give a credit for that remodel, or a deduction if you're buying one that's not. But it's not dollar for dollar. And that's why, like, if you are going to sell your home, and maybe you need to, paint and carpet, it's usually like the best thing to do. You want to talk to your agent, and they'll come in and say, hey, if you got, an extra $6,000, paint this thing up, and maybe we'll get $10,000 more for it.
Selling Bakersfield can do that for you, right, Janet? Or you guys can actually come in with a contractor and do the upgrade, the $6,000 in upgrades, as Brian would say, and add that on to the value of the home, and then hopefully sell it for more.
Correct.
And you pay through escrow, right? Or pay
Correct. We do have a contractor that we work with that is able to do that for you. So if you're looking to get more buck out of your home, we can definitely talk about that as well, and what upgrades we can make and make it more desirable for buyer to come in.
Brian, hold on a second, because we do got to talk about interest rates and where the money is and how it's flowing right now. Janet from Selling Bakersfield, 444-0178. Brian Colebrook is here from Cornerstone. Janet is here from Selling Bakersfield. Good morning, Janet.
Hey, good morning.
Janet Ramirez, you can call her at 444
0178.
I had to think about it. I'm terrible with phone numbers nowadays for some reason. She's our lender. She's our real estate agent who will help you find the home that you're looking for. Brian Colebrook is our lender from Cornerstone. Hey, Brian, your number is 661-524-LEND. Now, the two of them will work together to make sure that nothing gets missed when you're buying a house. So if you start with Janet and Selling Bakersfield, you may end up with Brian as your lender, or vice versa, because when you have two people handling both sides of it, it's really kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Two people handling two different tasks to get you a home could really screw it up.
Absolutely. You have to have a good team.
Yeah. Brian, what are the interest rates like? Can we get money?
Oh, yeah, and they're getting better. It's been a very good week for interest rates. They've dropped about 0.25% just this week, which is pretty huge for a small period of time. But I think the real interest rate break is going to come June when we get a new Federal Reserve chair.
Okay.
Maybe even before that in anticipation. However, if the rates drop, then more people are going to buy, and more demand is going to probably equate to higher prices, especially when inventory, even though it's increased a lot, it's still low.
I want to back up just a little bit because I just realized me asking you that question because I understand the idea because I bought houses before, but there are a lot of new buyers out there who don't understand an interest rate is the amount you're paying on the money that you borrow. Is that the best way to say it, Brian? Can you say it better?
Absolutely. No, and it directly corresponds to your payment. In fact, I had a client that just got that savings this week on a $335,000 purchase. It saved her $50 a month. I mean, it's not,
Go ahead, Brian.
going to be a car payment, but it sure helps, especially over the years.
Well, everything helps, especially over 30 years is normally what you buy a home for, just the average person. I want to I want you guys to explain this, or I want to explain this, and you guys correct me. A lot of you out there will look at these interest rates, and interest rates do vary up and down over the years, over the decades. So you need to understand that the interest rate that I have may never come back to the interest rate when you're trying to buy a home. You may never have it. So Stop listening to people say, well, my interest rate is 2.2. Well, yeah, that was 15 years ago, and it's never going to go down to 3 again, okay? I think when my parents bought their first house, it was like 14%. So, and that was, 40 years ago or however long it was. So what do you tell people like that, Brian, that, hey, I know your mom's telling you or your dad's telling you, your best friend's telling you they got this and to wait. What do you tell people, Brian?
I tell them to date the rate and marry the house. You can always refinance if the rates drop.
We didn't even get into that. So anyway, so you get the money. Janet, you go and you get them the house that they're worked on. When people look at, how do I say this? When I'm looking at a house and Janet, I go, hey, this is like $5,000 over my price range, but I really want this house. Brian, can you get me the extra $5,000, or do we have to come up with it somewhere else, or how, is that even possible?
Often it is.
Yeah, we can definitely work anything out. We always go back to our lender. Hey, can we work some numbers? Hey, what can we do? Everything's a negotiation, and I always lead back to my lender. Hey, lender, can we do this?
What kind of tricks does Brian have, huh?
There are tricks, though. There are, just like any trade. There's things you can do legitimately.
Yeah.
And, I've called up insurance agents that, I refer business to and say, hey, man, I need this payment $30 less. You're going to have to, switch the policyholder or something just to make this deal work.
And those are things that can be done. I mean, we're looking at, I know $5,000 is kind of a low number. That's probably, about $30 a month? Is that why you said that number? But, I mean, when you guys are working together, that's when the most can get done, right, for a customer?
Correct. We work together to see what solutions we can find, what else we can do, give the buyers other options as well, and just work together to see how we can make this deal happen.
All right, Brian Colbert's here, Cornerstone Mortgage. Hold on, Brian, we got to go over a second, but I'll let you talk next. 524-LEN, that's 524-LEN for Cornerstone. Janet Ramirez, selling Bakersfield, 444-0178. Right. Janet Ramirez is here. Sorry, Janet. Janet Ramirez is here from Selling Bakersfield, 444-0178. If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to sell a house, which we haven't talked much about today, but we will get to it here in just 1 second. Brian Colbrook is here from Cornerstone Mortgage, 524-661-524-LEN. That's how you get your money to go buy the house. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
I'm going to ask you guys this question. Somebody just texted me this, said, you have to put down like $20,000 to move in, and you have a $2,500 a month house payment. That's crazy. How am I supposed to afford to live like that? $20,000 to move in, Brian? You don't got a loan to get somebody in a house for less than 20 G's?
Yes, I do, but often it is better if you're coming out of pocket, something like that, if you have the ability, because you're going with a regular loan and a better interest rate. It's going to save you a lot more in the life of it.
What's a regular loan?
There's a lot of programs. CalHAFA, you've got the Platinum program that's a quote-unquote grant, but they all cost you something. There's no free lunch.
Okay.
There's even a new one coming out, new again, the Dream for All program, where they'll give you 20% for your down payment. But when you sell your house someday, they're going to take a percentage of your profit.
Oh, they'll take a cut after you sell. Do you have to live in it at a certain time, or does it matter? It's not for...
It's indefinite, but
Okay.
you can't be moving out and turning it into a rental.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. I mean, you got anything else left? I mean, what do you got, Janet? Are we? I want to talk about selling a home real quick.
Yeah. If you're looking into selling your home, we also can help you with providing you free comparisons. What we do is we take a look at the radius and we see what the market is doing and provide we provide you comps to see how much we can list your property for. So you can always give us a call if you're curious to see how much it costs. Give us a call and we can give you that number. And the number is 661-444-0178. Here I go.
I know. Here Janet goes. She's just getting her morning started. Brian, you got anything else?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody's expecting rates to start dropping, and as we get there, the prices are going to go up. Everybody's going to get excited. I suggest if you have the means, or even if you don't think you have it, reach out to us now. Let's get you going so you can get ahead of that wave.
All right, Brian Colebrook, 661-524-LAND. Guys, thanks you for stopping by this morning. Obviously, we'll talk to you again so that we can see what happens, because the housing market does change a lot over as the months go by. You know, getting in the mood, right? When you're young, you're always ready to get busy, right? You're always ready to jump between the sheets. But you get a little older, things change a little bit. You have kids, you get married. Sometimes you get a little complacent. So things change, right? And what gets you into the mood? Yesterday, some buddies of mine, we got together, we went and had a couple of beers, just, catch up a little bit and hang out. One of my buddies goes, hey, I got to get out of here. I want to get home. I want to get the dishes done. I want to clean up a little bit before my wife comes home from work. And we're like, okay. And first of all, a lot of you people are going to be like, oh, that guy's whooped, right? Well, you got to go. No, that's not at all why he was doing it. He was doing it because when his wife, apparently, according to him, when his wife comes home to a clean house and a little help around the house, apparently it turns her on. He's helping out. He wanted to go get some. He was having some beers with us. He's probably feeling a little frisky. He wanted to go get him some. And that was the way that he got her in the mood, which makes sense, right? I mean, I don't know. What gets you in the mood? All right, 842-547-7. There are actually, I've heard that women who like the smell of sweat, of a hardworking man coming home, and that turns them on. I mean, everybody has a different turn on, right? What gets you in the mood now? RD4254-7-7. Let's talk about getting in the mood, right? What gets you ready? What turns you on? When you're young, everything does, right? You're just always in the mood. You get a little older, things change a little bit. You get stressed, you get work, you get kids. You just get a lot of outside factors that get in the way. So what happens now? What do you do now? All right, I was telling you about a friend of mine. His wife likes it when he helps clean up around the house. So he'll do that whenever he's trying to get her, in the mood to jump in the sack. Already 42547-7. Hey, Romeo, talking about getting in the mood. All it takes for my wife, we both work. So I'll come home with her favorite wine and we'll have a couple of glasses. And then she knows that I'm thinking about her because I brought home her favorite wine. Works every single time. Well, so you get her drunk? You get her drunk on her favorite wine? That's what gets her going? All right. Already 42547-7. So what is it? I mean, what gets you in the mood? Already 84254-7-7. Hey, Rome, 8 hours of sleep the previous night gets me in the mood now that I have kids and work full time. So a good night's rest. There's nothing wrong with that. A good night's rest gets you in the mood. All right, 842-547-7. Yeah, sleep has a lot to do with it, right? What gets you in the mood now? I mean, like I said, a lot of you guys, you wonder why you're not having enough sex in your relationships after marriage, after kids, after all these stress factors that you have to deal with now. Maybe you're not getting in the mood. Maybe your partner is not doing the right things to get you in the mood. And what are those things now? All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo. I don't know if it gets me in the mood or not, but I know every time I come home, now mind you, we have 3 kids. When I come home and the dishes are done and the kitchen is clean, I know my husband's trying to get him some. So I don't know if it gets me in the mood, but I'm always ready to get down with him when he does it. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
Yo, Romeo.
What up, man?
Hey, to get my girl in the mood, hey, we go hard. When she come home, I have on my old high school wrestling uniform. You know it's Mr. Nasty time, bruh. Bruh, I put on that Rey Mysterio mask. Ball flash off the top rope, Romeo. You know what's up. You know, I'll be ready to tackle when you see what I got on. You get home, you know what's going down, Romeo.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. You know what's even worse? Hey, hold on. What's even worse, though, is I actually know some friends of mine have been together since high school, talking like 80-something, not maybe. And when he puts on his Letterman jacket, I guess she gets she gets excited.
It's the power, Romeo. You know that old school, high school glory. You know they can't help but feel the power, Romeo.
You're too much, man. You're too much. Get out of here.
All right, that was good, Ro.
RD4254-7 Hey, Rome. When my husband gets a fresh haircut, that gets me going. Yeah, it's a good reason. RD4254-7. Like I said, what gets you in the mood now? All right, let's talk about what gets you in the mood, okay? Things change as you get older, as your lifestyle changes, you know, as stress comes into your life. What gets you in the mood changes, right? RD4254-7. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
Hi, Romeo. This is Grandma T. You know that about that sweat smell or whatever?
Yeah.
I hope it ain't VO. Because if that's the case, he can go get her some tacos, street tacos, and add some extra onions.
Damn. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
So, how about when I'm out with my guy and he displays affection in public? So, when we're out and he's, touchy-feely, or he has his hand, on my back, or, just little displays of affection. That's what...
That does it for you, huh?
Makes me happy.
All right. That's nothing. That's cute. All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Wait, hold on. Does he know that?
I don't have a he right now, but yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling later. RD4254-7. The better question is, does he know? Does he know? Men are always probably ready to go, but does he know what to do to get you in the mood? RD4254-7. Rome, it's Red to Rob here. You know what gets us going is tacos. For me, is tacos. But for me, it's starting off. Yeah, I can't say all that. Okay, tacos. All right, we'll say that. RD4254-7. It's a lot of you complain about not having enough sex in your relationship, but a lot of you don't do things to get your partner going, right? To get them in the mood. And with things changing, when everybody's got to work, when everybody's got kids, or everybody's got stresses in their life, things change. RD4254-7. Hey, Romeo, when my husband wears a black shirt, that's what gets you going? Okay. Does he know that? RD4254-7. Hey, Romeo, I'm a stay-at-home wife and mother. My husband gets up at 4 a.m. every day for work. When he wakes me up, I like to give him some because I know he's taking care of me and the family, and I don't got to get up and go to work. So I guess that gets me in the mood when he wakes me up for a little something before he heads off to work. Okay. I mean, hey, whatever does it for you, does it for you. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Ron, what gets me going is when my girl licks her lips and then rolls a joint. So we found out from a couple of listeners that drugs and alcohol get them in the mood. That's okay. All right. Already 42547. Like I said, man, things change. When you're young, you're always in the mood. When you're not, stress is out of your life. Things change. What gets you in the mood nowadays? Good morning, Tom. What's going on?
What up, Ron? Seahawk Lou here.
What up, man?
Hey, man, you want to know what gets me in the mood?
Yeah, make it quick. What's up?
A couple of beatboxes, and that's it, man.
Gosh.
On my third one, I'm ready to go, Ron.
So your girl doesn't have anything to do with it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, of course, you have to be there. I drink beatboxes with the guys, but it's not like that,
That's not what I meant by that, but okay. Seahawk Lou's an idiot. I meant, what does your girl do that gets you in the mood? Not what you do to get in the mood. Getting drunk is, like I said, it's Seahawk Lou. He's an idiot.
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On Hot 94.1.